What really happened on June 2nd, 2006? What really happened here on Westerly Drive? Now, a year after the incident, still little is known. It is a day that will forever live in infamy.
내가 92층 빌딩에서 떨어졌을 때는 말이지 그게 아마도 1900주 아니었을 거야. 몸이 막 다 부러지고 전치 4주가 나오더라고.
James Morrison, a well-respected history teacher among the Tenafly High School staff, was deathly assassinated. It has changed the course of Tenafly history forever.
Before Morrison was assassinated, people believed in a child's history of the world.
But the story of his death is still yet shrouded in mystery. The absence of concrete facts, as well as the unusual events leading up to the assassination, have given rise to countless conspiracy theories. First, what we know. It's 7:32 and Morrison is walking down the 138 meters from his house to the school's side entrance. As he makes his way down Hickory Avenue and makes the right turn onto Westerly Drive, a young girl, apparently enthralled by Morrison's manly physique, was adding to her collection of videos of Morrison when the unthinkable occurred. The following is that horrifying video, dubbed the Zapang film, after the woman that was behind the cell phone camera.
As the story goes, Emily Beck waits for Morrison by the west door near room 114 with a number of frisbees. As Morrison makes the right turn, he passes by a gray Civic and is lost from sight for about a second. In this time, Beck throws 2 frisbees, connecting with both, hitting the 4th spinal capillate vertebral vernacular nerve with the second. Now Beck throws the final frisbee, making contact with the head and dealing the final blow.
After questioning several witnesses, Jack Bauer was called in to search for a 6'3", blonde-haired woman. Reports say she is sighted soon after at the vending machines buying a bottle of water. A sweatshirt was found soon after that near the scene of the crime. A girl identifies it as belonging to a woman named Emily Beck, shockingly a student of Morrison's. She's later arrested in the library 3 hours after the murder.
Did you kill Jim Morrison? I've not been accused of this. In fact, this is the first time I've been asked that.
When I first looked at her, she looked like the cat that swallowed the canary. Then she escapes from the authorities. That just screams guilty.
The most prevalent belief surrounding the assassination of Jim Morrison is that of the lone thrower theory. Now, if you look at the video closely, between frames 164 and 165, you can clearly see the trajectory of the centripetal force and the rotational velocity of the frisbee. Following the path the frisbee would have taken leads us directly to the spot Beck was allegedly standing at the time of the throw. In my mind, it's not a single thrower theory, it's a single thrower fact.
In all this talk of conspiracy, people have forgotten who Emily Beck really was. Born in Ethiopia, Beck jumped from Holland to Belgium to Russia to England to Bulgaria to Alaska and back to Holland, but her family finally settled down in Tenafly, New Jersey. Beck was a lonely one. She had only a few friends and kept what friends she did have at a distance. Joining the Frisbee team in October 2004, she met and befriended a man named K.Amagai.
She joined the team a couple years ago. She was slow, but she had a deadly forehand.
Said forearm is the subject of much debate. Conspiracy theorists criticize the lone thrower theory by saying it would be impossible for Beck to hit Morrison.
See, it appears to be impossible to hit someone from this angle with enough force to hit their 4th spinal capillate vertebral vernacular nerve. See, I'll hit this unsuspecting kid right now. Let's go!
Regardless, looming questions still remain about the Zapang film. Many people wonder why, on this bright sunny day, a man is standing perfectly still with a large black umbrella. We found this man months after the assassination.
The umbrella symbolizes a shield from the weather, a shield from nature. I was protecting myself from the oppressiveness of the sun. And I think Morrison is oppressive, and I was protecting myself from his oppressiveness.
Conspiracy theorists think otherwise. They claim that Sang Yi was part of the hit.
From Beck's position, it would be impossible for her to see if Mr. Morrison was actually hit. You know what I think? Mr. Yi was the message to keep going.
But what about the witnesses' accounts of the incident? Witnesses claim to have seen anywhere from 2 to 10 frisbees.
I don't care what those other guys say. I know I saw 4 frisbees.
정말로 7명의 여자친구가 있다니까요. 미국에 2명, 중국에 2명, 그리고 한국에 3명이요.
From the first frisbee to the final blow is 8 seconds. Now, even for a skilled thrower like Beck, this is a tight number to fit in 3 throws, let alone 4. More frisbees would mean more throwers, and more throwers means a conspiracy.
There is more to multiple thrower theory. Let's say this citrus fruit is Morrison's head. At moment of impact, it moves back and to the left. Understand? Back and to the left. Back and to the left. From where Beck throws frisbee, impossible for head to react like this. There must be second thrower.
Once again, this is a question about frisbee skill. A large amount of spin will be required on the disc to give it enough torque to snap Morrison's neck back and to the left.
Even so, people find it hard to believe that something so terrible could be the work of one woman. Other conspiracy theories were revealed after the Kanto-Giannis Commission investigations. Morrison's anti-cell phone policy had allegedly severely crippled the ability for several key members of a local drug ring to conduct business during school hours. According to one report, over 100 million had been lost. In the days leading up to the assassination, witnesses spotted Beck at Lace, a gentleman's club, as well as a mafia hangout, talking to several known members of the local crime family.
Emily's ties with the mafia have been pretty well documented. She was known as a really good softball pitcher, but she had this weird reputation of her opponents falling to mysterious injuries the day before a game. Some people thought that the mafia might be involved somehow, but there was never any real evidence.
Maybe she is one of throwers, but the truth is, she is only pawn in conspiracy. Brian Corey, who is vice principal and also director of investigation of Morrison assassination, is now known to have ties to mafia. We now know that Brian Corey has strange love of exotic cheese. Now what happens? The mafia, it gives him the cheese, and in return, Corey destroys information. Simple as that.
Millions of people still, even a year later, have a hard time believing that Beck was the only thrower.
If you put an unexcused absence on the day after prom on one side of the scale, and Brian Corey on the other side, they roughly even themselves out. But if you put James Morrison on one side of the scale and Emily Beck on the other side, they do not balance. If you add some weight on Beck's side, thus giving his death some meaning, that he died for something, the conspiracy would do the job nicely.
James Owen Morrison will remain embedded in our memories, not for what he had accomplished, but what he could have. His cell phone policy had dealt a great blow into the drug circuit, but after his death, the school saw a return in lax cell phone policies and drug dealers resumed their business. And because he died so young, before his potential could be reached, he will always remain frozen in our minds at the age of 45.